There is a weight you have been carrying that was never yours to hold, and yet you held it. You have walked through fire after fire, through nights that offered no stars, through moments so heavy you weren't sure you would see the morning. And still, here you are, breathing, reading these words, and there is a reason for that. Stop for a moment. Just stop. Before you go any further, I need you to understand something that has been hidden from you until now. This moment right here was not an accident. You did not stumble upon this message by chance. You were led here, guided through every closed door, every heartbreak, every confusing turn, just to arrive at this precise second. And the fact that you are still enough to read this, that something inside you paused, that is not small. For a long time, you have asked for answers. You have looked at your life and wondered why certain doors slammed shut, why certain people walked away, why your prayers seemed to hit the ceiling and fall back down, unheard. You have questioned the silence. You have screamed into it, begged into it, and wept into it. And I want you to know, I heard every single one of those cries. I caught every tear. Not one was wasted. But the silence you experienced was not rejection. It was preparation. There are things I could not tell you then, because you were not ready to carry them. You wanted the map, but I was busy building the road beneath your feet. You wanted the explanation, but I was working on the foundation. Had I shown you everything at once, it would have crushed you. Not because you are weak, but because the full weight of truth, before the right time, destroys what it is meant to save. You have been asking, why is this happening to me? But the question you should have been asking is, what is being built in me through this? Look back, just for a moment. Think about the person you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Could they have handled what you are handling now? Could they have stood where you are standing? No, they couldn't, because you weren't ready. And I loved you too much to let you face certain things before you had the strength to survive them. There have been signs along the way, little nudges, moments where something felt off, or something felt too right. You dismissed some of them. You explained them away. You told yourself it was coincidence, or luck, or your own imagination. But it was me, always me, whispering, warning, guiding. Even when you didn't recognize my voice, I was there. And now we have reached a turning point. A moment where the veil is thinning, where the things that were hidden are beginning to surface. You can feel it, can't you? That tension in the air, that sense that something is shifting beneath the surface of your life. It is not your anxiety. It is not your imagination running wild. It is the truth pushing its way up through the soil. I am about to show you things you have not been able to see. I am about to connect dots you thought would never connect. But you must understand this first. What I am going to reveal is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to free you. The truth has been buried for too long, and the weight of it has been pressing against your spirit. You have felt it, that heaviness that doesn't seem to lift, that sense that something is unfinished, unresolved, waiting. It is time to finish it. But I need you to trust me in a way you have never trusted before. I need you to let go of the version of this story you have been telling yourself. Because some of what you believe, some of what you have accepted as truth, is about to be rearranged. Not to hurt you, but to heal you. You were carried this far for a reason. Not to be dropped at the edge of the cliff. Not to be abandoned in the wilderness, but to be brought to the exact place where the next chapter can begin. And the only way into that chapter is through the door that is opening now. It will require courage. It will require stillness. It will require you to stop running, stop fixing, stop controlling, and just listen. Can you do that? Just for these next moments, just for this message. Can you set down the weight of figuring it all out and simply receive what I have for you? Because there is something you need to understand about the silence you've been living in. It wasn't empty. It was full of movement, full of preparation, full of protection. You didn't see it, but I was building walls around you that you cannot see. I was closing doors to rooms that would have destroyed you. I was delaying answers until the answers could actually help you, instead of harm you. You have been impatient with me. I know this. You have wondered if I forgot you, if I was paying attention to anyone else but you. And I have not been offended by your frustration. I have held it. I have let you pour it out, and I have absorbed every bit of it. Because I am big enough for your anger. I am strong enough for your doubt. But now the waiting shifts. Not because you finally prayed enough, or did enough, or became enough, but because the time is simply here. The calendar of heaven does not move by your rushing. It moves by purpose. There are things coming to light that have been buried in shadow. Things about your past, things about people around you, things about the path ahead. And when you see them, you will understand why the wait was necessary. You will understand why certain prayers went unanswered. You will understand why you had to walk through certain valleys alone. I did not abandon you in those valleys. I walked beside you, even when you couldn't feel me. Even when you accused me of leaving, I was there, closer than your breath, quieter than your thoughts, waiting for this moment. And this moment is now. So breathe. Just breathe. Let the tension in your shoulders drop a little. Let the clenched fists of your heart begin to open. You don't have to fight for the next few minutes. You don't have to figure anything out. You just have to be here, present, willing. Because what I am about to say next, it will change how you see everything. You have spent so much of your life trying to connect dots that were never meant to connect. Not yet. You have looked back at your past and tried to force a straight line where I was drawing a circle. And a circle, you must understand, is not a mistake. It is a completion. It is a return to origin with everything you have learned carried inside you. There are moments from your history that have haunted you, moments you have replayed over and over, asking yourself, what if I had done something differently? What if I had seen it coming? What if I had been smarter, stronger, faster? And I need you to hear this clearly. Those moments were not failures. They were forks in the road where you could not see the full picture because I was not finished painting it. You have judged yourself harshly for things you did not understand at the time. You have carried shame for decisions made in the dark, not realizing that the dark was exactly where you needed to be to learn what light truly is. There is no shame in not knowing what you could not yet see. There is only the weight you have added to your own shoulders, believing you should have known better. But you couldn't have known better, because the knowledge wasn't available yet. The understanding wasn't ripe. And I did not withhold it from you cruelly. I withheld it from you lovingly, because premature understanding is more dangerous than ignorance. Ignorance keeps you humble. Ignorance keeps you seeking. Ignorance keeps your hand outstretched toward me. But premature understanding makes you arrogant. It makes you think you have arrived when you have only just begun. Look at the people who walked away from you. Some of them left quietly. Some of them left violently. Some of them left slowly, over years, until one day you woke up and realized they were gone. And you have grieved them. You have wondered if you could have held on tighter, loved harder, been more. But I need you to see what you could not see then. Those departures were not losses. They were extractions. I removed certain people from your life because they could not go where you are going. Not because they were bad, not because you were bad, but because their story and your story were no longer aligned. And if they had stayed, they would have become obstacles instead of companions. They would have slowed your journey, confused your path, and pulled you back into chapters that were already finished. You have been carrying ghosts. Ghosts of people who left. Ghosts of versions of yourself that no longer exist. Ghosts of dreams that died before they could be born. And you have treated these ghosts as if they were still alive, still relevant, still part of your present. But a ghost cannot walk with you into the future. A ghost can only haunt you in the past. It is time to release them. Not with anger, not with bitterness, but with the quiet understanding that everything that left you left because something greater needed room to arrive. Nature abhors a vacuum, but it also abhors overcrowding. Nothing new can grow in soil that is still choked by the roots of what has already died. And you have been trying to plant new seeds in ground that is still full of old roots. Let me till that ground for you. You have asked me why certain prayers have not been answered, why certain doors remain closed, why certain desires of your heart seem to be ignored. And the answer, though it may be difficult to hear, is this: because what you were asking for was too small. You were asking for a repaired version of the old. I was preparing you for something entirely new. If I had given you what you wanted when you wanted it, you would have settled. You would have built a comfortable little life inside a cage and called it freedom. You would have mistaken safety for purpose. You would have stopped seeking me, stopped reaching, stopped growing. And I love you too much to let you settle. So I delayed, I redirected, I close doors you are desperate to walk through, not because I am cruel, but because I am kind. True kindness does not give a child everything they ask for. True kindness gives them what they actually need when they are ready to receive it. And you are becoming ready. There is a shift happening inside you that you cannot fully articulate. A restlessness that is not anxiety, but awakening. A dissatisfaction with things that used to satisfy you. A hunger for something you cannot name. That is not a problem to be solved. That is a sign to be followed. You have been asking me for direction, for clarity, for the next step. And I have been silent because I needed you to stop looking at the path and start looking at me. The path will always change. The path will always have obstacles. The path will always be unpredictable. But I am the constant. I am the one who does not move. And until you are anchored in me, every shift in the path will feel like a crisis. I am not asking you to understand everything. I am asking you to trust me with everything. There is a difference between knowing the way and knowing the one who knows the way. You have spent too long trying to navigate by your own understanding, and your understanding is limited. It sees only what is right in front of you. It cannot see around corners. It cannot see into hearts. It cannot see the future. But I can. And I have seen what is coming for you. I have seen the doors that are about to open. I have seen the people who are about to appear. I have seen the healing that is about to wash through places in your soul that have been wounded for so long you forgot they could feel anything but pain. But you must release your grip on the story you have been telling yourself. You must stop rehearsing the past as if it defines you. The past informed you, yes. The past shaped you, yes. But the past does not own you unless you give it ownership. There is a version of you that is trying to be born. A version that is not burdened by the weight of old failures. A version that does not walk through life waiting for the other shoe to drop. A version that breathes freely, loves openly, and lives fully. That version is not a fantasy. That version is your inheritance. But you cannot claim it while clutching the ashes of what was. Let the ashes go. Let the explanations go. Let the need to understand every detail of why things happened the way they did go. Some questions will not be answered in this lifetime, and that is okay. Because the unanswered questions are the ones that keep you reaching for me. They are the tension that stretches your faith until it is strong enough to hold the weight of your destiny. You were carried this far not to collapse at the finish line, but to cross it. And the finish line is not an end. It is a beginning. It is the threshold between what was and what will be. I have been preparing you for this crossing your entire life. Every struggle, every setback, every moment you thought you couldn't go on, they were all part of the preparation. They were all forging something in you that cannot be forged in comfort. You are not who you were, and you are not yet who you will be. But you are exactly who you need to be right now. So stop comparing your middle to someone else's ending. Stop measuring your progress by the world's standards. Stop believing the lie that you are behind, or late, or less than. You are right on time, my time, and my time is never wrong. The silence is breaking, the truth is rising, and you are still here, still breathing, still reading. That means something. That means everything. There is something you have been avoiding, something you have pushed to the back of your mind, buried under busyness, covered with distractions, drowned out with noise. And today, I am asking you to stop running from it. You know what it is, the thing that surfaces in the quiet moments, the thought that comes to you in the middle of the night when sleep escapes you, the feeling that something is unfinished, unsettled, unresolved deep within you. You have tried to outrun it. You have tried to outwork it. You have tried to outshine it. But it remains, patient, waiting, because it knows something you have been afraid to admit. You cannot heal what you will not face. For too long, you have treated your own soul like a stranger. You have attended to everyone else's needs, everyone else's problems, everyone else's emergencies. And in doing so, you have neglected the one person you were given to steward, yourself. Not in a selfish way, not in a narcissistic way, but in the way a gardener tends the soil before expecting a harvest. You cannot give what you do not have. You cannot pour from an empty vessel. And you have been running on empty for far longer than you realize. The exhaustion you feel is not just physical. It is soul deep. It is the weariness of carrying things I never asked you to carry. Responsibilities that were never yours. Burdens that belong to me. Expectations you placed on yourself that I never placed on you. And you have been staggering under this weight, wondering why joy feels distant, why peace feels elusive, why hope feels like a memory instead of a present reality. I want to show you something. Remember a time when you were younger, a moment when you felt truly free, before the weight settled, before the worry became your constant companion, before you learned to hold your breath waiting for disaster. What did that feel like? What did it feel like to laugh without a hidden agenda, to trust without suspicion, to hope without bracing for disappointment? That version of you is not dead. That version of you is not lost. That version of you is buried under layers of protection you built because life hurt you. And those layers, which once served you, have now become a prison. You built walls to keep pain out, but those same walls have kept love out. You built armor to protect your heart, but that same armor has kept out the very things your heart most desperately needs. It is time to let me help you take the armor off. I know you are afraid. I know taking off the armor feels like walking into battle naked, but you are not walking into battle alone. I am your shield. I am your protector. I am the one who goes before you and behind you. The armor you built with your own hands was never meant to be permanent. It was meant to hold you until I could reach you. And I have reached you. I know you don't feel safe. I know your nervous system is still calibrated for threat. I know your mind is still scanning for danger, still waiting for the other shoe to drop, still bracing for impact. But I am asking you to let me recalibrate you, to let me retrain your heart to recognize safety when safety is present. You have been living in survival mode for so long that survival has become your identity. You have forgotten what it feels like to simply exist without fighting, to simply breathe without striving, to simply be without performing. And I did not create you to live in survival. I created you to live in abundance. Not abundance of things, but abundance of life, abundance of love, abundance of peace. But you cannot receive abundance while your hands are clenched in fists, ready to fight. You must open your hands. You must open your heart. You must open your life to the possibility that I am good, that I am for you, and that I have not abandoned you to the chaos. There have been moments when you felt utterly alone, moments when you cried out and heard only silence, moments when you looked around and saw no one coming to help you. And I want you to know, I was there. I was in the silence. I was in the emptiness. I was working in ways you could not see, moving pieces you could not perceive, setting up circumstances that have led you directly to this moment. You think you have been wandering, but you have been walking a path I laid out before you were born. Every detour was a setup. Every delay was a protection. Every closed door was a redirection towards something better. And every open door, every opportunity, every moment of relief was my hand reaching through the chaos to touch you. But now I am asking you to look at something specific, something you have buried so deep you almost forgot it existed. There is a wound, an old wound, perhaps from childhood, perhaps from a relationship, perhaps from a failure that defined you more than it should have. And this wound has been leaking into your present relationships, leaking into your self-image, leaking into your decisions. You have tried to bandage it with success, with validation, with achievement. But bandages do not heal deep wounds. They only cover them. And underneath the bandages, the wound has been festering. It is time to let me clean it. I know it will hurt. I know the cleaning process is often more painful than the wound itself. But I am gentle. I am patient. I will not tear the bandages off violently. I will help you remove them layer by layer as you are ready. And as each layer comes off, light will reach places that have been dark for a very long time. You have been afraid of what you will find underneath, afraid that if you truly face the wound, it will consume you. But I am telling you, the wound has already consumed enough of your life. It has already stolen enough of your joy. It has already dictated enough of your choices. It is time to take it back. Give me the wound. Give me the shame. Give me the regret. Give me the anger. Give me the disappointment. Give me the grief. Give me the part of you that you have been hiding from everyone, including yourself. Give it to me, and let me transform it. Not erase it, transform it. Because your wound, surrendered to me, becomes wisdom. Your pain, surrendered to me, becomes compassion. Your failure, surrendered to me, becomes testimony. Nothing is wasted in my economy. Nothing is thrown away. Everything is redeemed. But redemption requires surrender, and surrender requires trust, and trust requires relationship, and relationship requires time. Time spent with me, time spent in stillness, time spent letting me love you in the places you have never allowed anyone to love you. You have been waiting for me, to change your circumstances. The emptiness after cleaning can feel unsettling, but that emptiness is not abandonment. That emptiness is preparation. It is the cleared field where I will plant seeds you cannot yet imagine. You were carried this far for a reason, not to stay the same, not to remain wounded, not to continue surviving, but to finally, fully, completely heal. And healing begins now. There is a war happening that you cannot see. A war for your attention, a war for your belief, a war for the very core of who you are. And the battlefield is not out there in the world. It is inside your own mind. Every day you are bombarded with voices. Some are loud, some are subtle. Some come from the people around you. Some come from the culture you swim in. And some come from a place much darker. These voices compete for the privilege of defining your reality. They tell you who you are. They tell you what you deserve. They tell you what to expect from life and from me. And for too long, you have let them speak louder than I do. You have listened to the voice that says you are not enough. Not smart enough, not strong enough, not good enough, not worthy enough. You have listened to the voice that says your past disqualifies you from a future. You have listened to the voice that says your mistakes are too many, your failures too great, your wounds too deep for me to do anything with you. But that voice is a liar. I want you to hear me clearly. That voice does not come from me. It never has. It never will. I do not speak condemnation over you. I do not speak shame over you. I do not speak hopelessness over you. I speak life. I speak purpose. I speak redemption. I speak possibility. I speak love, fierce, unrelenting, unconditional love. The voice that tears you down is not my voice, and you have the power, the authority, and the right to reject it. You have been living as if every thought that enters your mind is true, as if every accusation that rises in your heart is justified, as if every fear that grips your chest is a prophecy that must be fulfilled. But thoughts are not facts. Feelings are not truth. And the enemy of your soul has been using your own mind as a weapon against you. He cannot touch your spirit because your spirit belongs to me. He cannot undo what I have done because what I have done is eternal. But he can whisper. He can suggest. He can plant seeds of doubt and water them with circumstance until they grow into forests of despair. And you have been wandering in those forests, lost, believing there was no way out. But there is a way out, and the way out is through the renewing of your mind. You must learn to recognize my voice, not by volume, but by quality. I do not shout. I do not need to. I speak in a still, small voice that requires stillness to hear. I speak in peace that passes understanding. I speak in clarity that cuts through confusion. I speak in love that feels like home. When a thought comes to you, test it. Ask yourself, does this thought lead me toward peace or toward panic? Does it lead me toward hope or toward despair? Does it lead me toward love or toward fear? Does it lead me closer to me or further away? The answers will tell you everything. You have been carrying thoughts that are not yours. Thoughts of unworthiness that were planted in you by someone else's words. Thoughts of failure that were seeded by circumstances that did not go your way. Thoughts of hopelessness that were fertilized by waiting longer than you expected. And you have accepted these thoughts as if they were your own, as if they were true, as if they were permanent. But I am giving you a new mind. I am giving you a new way of thinking. I am giving you the mind of Christ, not the mind of the world, not the mind of your trauma, not the mind of your past. And with this new mind, you will begin to see what has been true all along, that you are loved, that you are chosen, that you are held, that you are carried, that you are mine. The battle for your mind is intense because the stakes are high. Your mind is the gateway to your heart, and your heart is the wellspring of your life. Whoever controls your mind controls your life. And I am asking you today, will you let me have it? Will you let me be the one who defines you? Will you let my voice be the loudest voice in the room of your consciousness? It will require discipline. It will require practice. It will require you to catch yourself when you drift into old patterns of thinking and gently, firmly bring yourself back to me. But I will help you. I will give you the strength to resist the lies. I will give you the wisdom to discern the truth. I will give you the peace that surpasses understanding to guard your heart and mind in me. There is a freedom coming to you that you have not yet experienced. A freedom from the tyranny of your own thoughts. A freedom from the prison of negative self-perception. A freedom from the endless loop of regret and worry and fear. And that freedom will feel like wings, like breath, like waking up from a long, dark nightmare to find the sun shining and the birds singing and the world full of possibility. But you must fight for it. Not with your own strength, but with mine. Not with your own strategies, but with the weapons I have given you. Truth, faith, prayer, and the power of my name. These weapons are not weak. They are mighty. They can pull down strongholds. They can silence accusers. They can break chains that have bound you for decades. You have been living beneath your privilege. You have been living beneath your inheritance. You have been living as an orphan when you are a child of the King. And it is time, past time, for you to take your place. The lies you have believed have kept you small. They have kept you safe, perhaps, but small. And I did not create you for smallness. I created you for greatness. Not greatness as the world defines it, fame, wealth, power, but greatness as I define it. Love, service, impact, legacy. Greatness that flows from a heart fully alive, fully free, fully mine. Look at the people who have hurt you, the ones who spoke words over you that were not true, the ones who projected their own brokenness onto you, the ones who wounded you and then walked away as if you were nothing. I want you to see them differently now. See them not as authorities over your life, but as broken people who could only give what they had. And what they had was brokenness. But what you have is me, and I am not broken. You do not need their approval anymore. You do not need their validation. You do not need them to apologize, to change, to come back, to make it right. You have me, and I am enough. I am more than enough. I am everything you have been searching for in every person, every place, every possession. When you finally believe that, truly believe it, down in the depths of your being, everything will shift. The seeking will stop. The striving will cease. The hunger that nothing else could satisfy will finally be filled. And from that place of fullness, you will begin to give out of abundance instead of need. You will love without clutching. You will serve without exhausting yourself. You will live without constant craving. This is your inheritance. This is your birthright. This is what I have been carrying you toward all along. Not a better job, not a better relationship, not a better bank account, but a better you. A you that knows who they are. A you that knows whose they are. A you that can stand in the middle of any storm and say, I am not afraid because my Father is with me. That is the you I am calling forth. That is the you I have been preparing. That is the you who is about to emerge from the shadows and step into the light. The war for your mind is real, but the war is already won, not by you, by me. And because I have won, you get to share in the victory. You get to walk in the freedom I purchased for you. You get to live as more than a conqueror. So take a deep breath, let it out slowly, and as you do, let go of the lies you have been holding. Let them fall away like dead leaves from a tree that is about to bloom. There is new life coming, new thoughts, new beliefs, new freedom. And it starts right now. You have been waiting for a sign, looking for a confirmation, searching the horizon for something that tells you, yes, you are on the right path. Yes, I am with you. Yes, it is safe to move forward. And the silence has felt unbearable at times. The waiting has felt like punishment. The uncertainty has felt like abandonment. But I need to tell you something that will shift everything. The sign you are looking for is not coming, at least not in the way you expect. You have been waiting for a burning bush, a parting sea, a voice from the sky. You have been waiting for circumstances to rearrange themselves so perfectly that doubt becomes impossible. You have been waiting for proof that I am real, that I am good, that I am for you. And while you wait, you have been standing still, paralyzed, afraid to move until you are certain. But faith does not work that way. Faith is not certainty. Faith is trust in the absence of certainty. Faith is moving forward when the path is dark. Holding my hand when you cannot see my face, taking the next step when the destination is hidden. If you required proof, you would not need faith, and I have called you to walk by faith, not by sight. The sign you are waiting for is already here. It is the fact that you are still breathing. It is the fact that you are still seeking. It is the fact that you have not given up, even when giving up seemed easier. It is the fact that you are reading these words right now, at this exact moment, in this exact place. That is not coincidence. That is communication. That is me speaking to you in the only language you have been willing to hear. But I am asking you now to hear me in a deeper way, to stop demanding that the universe rearrange itself for your comfort, to stop treating me like a vending machine that must produce proof before you invest your trust. I am not a vending machine. I am your Father. And a father does not perform tricks to earn his child's trust. A father simply shows up consistently, faithfully, until the child learns to rest in his presence. I have shown up for you, over and over, in ways you have noticed and in ways you have missed completely. I have protected you from dangers you never knew existed. I have provided for you in moments you attributed to luck. I have guided you through decisions you thought you made alone. I have been present in every single moment of your life, whether you felt me or not. And still, you ask for a sign. What more can I give you than I have already given? I gave you my Son. I gave you my word. I gave you my Spirit. I gave you life itself. And you stand here in the middle of your story, asking for one more miracle before you will trust me. One more confirmation before you will move. One more sign before you will believe that I am who I say I am. But here is the truth you have been avoiding. The sign will never be enough. Because if I gave you a sign today, tomorrow you would need another one. The hunger for certainty is insatiable. It devours every proof and immediately demands more. It is not signs you need, it is surrender. You must surrender your need to know. You must surrender your demand for control. You must surrender your insistence on understanding everything before you move forward. You must trust me with the parts you cannot see, the parts you cannot figure out, the parts that make no sense from where you are standing. I see the whole picture. You see only a fragment, and you are judging the fragment as if it were the whole. You are looking at one brushstroke and declaring the painting ruined. But I am the artist. I know what I am doing. I have been working on this masterpiece your entire life, and I am not finished yet. The parts that look like mistakes to you are intentional. The parts that look like chaos are actually complex design. The parts that look like loss are actually preparation for gain. You cannot see it now, but one day you will. One day you will look back at this moment and understand why I delayed, why I was silent, why I seemed absent. And on that day, you will fall to your knees not in anger, but in awe. But that day is not today. Today you are still in the middle, still in the waiting, still in the not knowing. And I am asking you to trust me here, in this uncomfortable place, rather than demanding to be somewhere else. There is a reason I have not shown you everything. There is a reason I have kept certain things hidden. It is not because I am hiding from you. It is because you are not ready for them yet. Some truths would overwhelm you if revealed too soon. Some blessings would destroy you if given before you were mature enough to carry them. Some doors would lead you into disaster if opened before the right time. I am protecting you by delaying you. I am saving you by stopping you. I am loving you by hiding certain things from you. And one day, when the time is right, I will reveal what has been concealed. One day, when you are strong enough, I will show you what you have been asking to see. One day, when the purpose is fulfilled, you will understand why the wait was necessary. But until that day, you must learn to live in the tension. The tension between what is and what will be. The tension between what you know and what you cannot yet understand. The tension between faith and sight. This tension is not a punishment. It is a classroom. It is the place where your character is formed, your patience is developed, your trust is deepened. If everything were easy, you would be weak. If everything were clear, you would be shallow. If everything were immediate, you would be impatient. The struggle is shaping you. The waiting is strengthening you. The not knowing is teaching you to rely on me. You have been praying for patience, and I have been giving you opportunities to develop it. You have been praying for trust, and I have been placing you in situations where trust is the only option. You have been praying for deeper relationship with me, and I have been removing the distractions that kept you from seeking my face. Your prayers are being answered. Just not in the way you expected, just not on the timeline you demanded. But they are being answered, every single one. I have not ignored a single tear, dismissed a single cry, forgotten a single request. I have collected them all, and I am weaving them into a response that will leave you speechless. But you must wait for it. You must trust the process. You must believe that I am good, even when you cannot see the evidence. You must choose faith over sight, trust over control, surrender over striving. This is the moment that defines everything. This is the pivot point. This is where you decide whether you will live your life demanding signs or walking in faith. This is where you choose between the exhaustion of control and the rest of trust. I am offering you rest, real rest, deep rest, the rest that comes from knowing you are held by hands that cannot drop you, loved by a heart that cannot stop loving you, guided by wisdom that cannot make mistakes. Will you take it? Will you lay down the burden of needing to know and simply trust the one who does? You were carried this far not to collapse under the weight of your own demands, but to finally lay that weight down, to finally stop striving, to finally rest in the arms of the one who has been carrying you all along. The sign you are looking for is not coming. But something better is here already, something deeper, something more permanent, something that will never leave you or forsake you. I am here. I have always been here. I will always be here. This is the moment you have been waiting for. Not just the end of this message, but the beginning of everything else. The closing of one door and the opening of another. The completion of one chapter and the first words of the next. And I need you to understand something as you stand on this threshold. Nothing will ever be the same. Not because I am about to take everything away from you. Not because disaster is coming. Not because your life is about to fall apart. But because you are about to see, you are about to understand, you are about to wake up to a reality that has been true all along, but hidden from your eyes until now. The carrying is not over. For so long, I have carried you through storms you could not survive on your own. I have held you when you could not stand. I have guided you when you could not see. I have protected you from enemies you never knew existed. And now, because of that carrying, you are stronger. You are wiser. You are ready for what comes next. But what comes next will require something different from you. It will require you to walk, not crawl, not be carried. Walk, on your own 2 feet, but with your hand in mine. The season of being carried through everything is shifting into a season of walking together. And walking together is different. It requires more participation from you, more intentionality, more trust that the strength I have built in you is real and can be relied upon. You have doubted yourself. You have looked at your own hands and seen weakness. You have looked at your own heart and seen failure. You have looked at your own history and seen only reasons to shrink back. But I am telling you today, you are not who you were. The fire did not destroy you. It refined you. The water did not drown you. It strengthened you. The wind did not break you. It made you flexible, resilient, able to bend without snapping. The very things you thought were killing you were actually preparing you. And now you stand here, at the edge of your future, more equipped than you realize. There are people coming into your life who will need what you have been through. Not your perfection, not your polish, not your pretense, but your scars, your stories, your hard-won wisdom, the things you learned in the dark that you could only have learned there. Those things are not liabilities, they are assets. They are the currency of connection. They are the bridge between your pain and someone else's healing. You have wondered why you went through what you went through. You have asked me, why me? Why this? Why then? And now, standing here, you begin to see. It was never just about you. It was about the people only you can reach, the hearts only you can understand, the wounds only you can tend, because you have been wounded in the same place. I am sending you out. Not away from me, but with me. Not alone, but accompanied. Not empty-handed, but carrying treasures dug from the rubble of your own life. And these treasures will open doors. They will soften hearts. They will create connections that no amount of success or strategy could ever manufacture. But you must go. You must move. You must step forward into the unknown, trusting that the one who carried you this far will not drop you now. The fear you feel is normal. Every person who has ever stood at a threshold has felt it. The trembling, the doubt, the urge to turn back to what is familiar, even if what is familiar was painful. But I am asking you to resist that urge, to press through that fear, to take the step even though your knees are shaking. Because on the other side of that step is everything you have been asking for. Not necessarily the circumstances you thought you wanted, but the life you were always meant to live. A life of purpose, a life of meaning, a life of connection, a life of impact. You were not put on this earth to simply survive. You were put here to thrive, to love, to serve, to create, to build, to leave behind a legacy that echoes into eternity. And every single thing you have been through has been preparing you for exactly this. The waiting is over. The silence has served its purpose. The hidden things are coming to light, and you are ready. Not because you feel ready, but because I say you are ready. Not because you have all the answers, but because you have me, and I am the answer to every question you will ever face. So here is what I am asking you to do. Take a breath, a deep, slow, intentional breath, and as you exhale, let go of the past. Let go of the regret. Let go of the shame. Let go of the fear. Let go of the need to understand everything. Let go of the demand for guarantees. Let go of the weight you were never meant to carry. And then take a step, just one, in the direction of the hope I have placed in your heart, in the direction of the dream you buried because it felt impossible, in the direction of the love you have been too afraid to pursue, in the direction of the person I created you to be. That step will change everything, not because the step itself is powerful, but because the obedience behind it unlocks doors no human hand can open. When you move in faith, heaven moves on your behalf. When you step out, I step in. When you trust me with your feet, I trust you with more of my heart. This is the partnership you were made for. This is the dance you have been rehearsing your whole life. This is the reason you were carried this far, not to stay where you are, but to go where I am leading, not to cling to what was, but to embrace what will be, not to survive, but to thrive, not to exist, but to live, and live fully, live boldly, live lovingly, live freely. The chains are off. You may not feel it yet, but they are off. The prison door is open. You may not see it yet, but it is open. The wilderness is behind you. You may not believe it yet, but it is behind you. And ahead of you is a land flowing with purpose, with peace, with provision, with promise. Will you enter it? Will you take my hand and walk forward? Will you trust that the one who carried you through the worst can be trusted with the rest? I am not asking you to have all the answers. I am not asking you to be fearless. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am simply asking you to come with me, to walk with me, to trust me. One step at a time, one day at a time, one breath at a time. And as you do, you will discover something beautiful. You were never meant to just be carried. You were meant to walk beside the one who carries the universe in his hands. You were meant for partnership, for intimacy, for purpose, for love. That is your inheritance. That is your destiny. That is why you were carried this far. And now, beloved, it is time to walk. Go in peace. Go in power. Go in the unshakable knowledge that you are loved, you are held, you are guided, and you are never, ever alone. This is not the end. This is the beginning. And I am with you, always. If this message spoke to you, if something shifted inside you while listening, I want to invite you to do something. Like this video, comment the word trust below, and share this message with someone who needs to hear that they were carried this far for a reason. You never know who is waiting for a sign, and you might be the answer to their prayer. Subscribe to join us for the next message. Your journey is just beginning.